in Schools Reading Challenge. I want to just double check if you could type in, if you could hear me, just let me know, yes, I can hear you, or just plain yes on the chat box if you see it. That would be good. So can you all hear me? Let's see, maybe it's under questions. Yes. Yes. Okay, I got an answer. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So I'm gonna start. So welcome to the 15th Annual Families in Schools Reading Challenge. We know that you are a busy bunch and have a lot to do, so we would like to thank you for participating in this webinar and really championing literacy and reading at your schools. We will be covering a lot of material today, but if you have to leave before we end, don't worry, we will be distributing the presentation to all registered schools, even if they are not present today, and they will have access to this webinar as a PDF and a link to the video. Also, since this is a lot of information, we know you will have questions. We will get back to your questions at the end of the webinar. So I'm going to begin with introducing ourselves. We are from Families in Schools, and our mission is to involve parents and communities in their children's education to achieve lifelong success. We are a parent engagement nonprofit, and so our mission is really to support schools and CBOs in their mission to involve parents in their agencies. So my name is Cynthia Perez. I am the Community Relations Coordinator, and I have someone here as well.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Carla Lopez, and I'll be facilitating the conversation for the Families in Schools Reading Challenge, and I am the program coordinator here at Families in Schools, and I'll be supporting Cynthia throughout the webinar and also throughout the Reading Challenge.
All right. So I'm going to talk a little bit about ourselves, about Families in Schools and who we are for this first piece. So I've been here for 5 years, and here at Families in Schools, one of the things that I realized is that, we truly believe that when parents are confident and empowered and engaged with their children's school and in their education, their children will do better in school. And so we provide a lot of programs and technical support to schools. I'm not going to go over all of these different curriculums or all of the different campaigns, but for the early education folks out there, Reading Roads and Read With Me are some of our specialty curriculas. And then for the middle school, it's probably more of the growth mindset, transition to middle school, transition to high school, and the college knowledge academies. And for high school, college knowledge academies and transition to college would probably apply to you. For any information, please feel free to contact me directly, and I will set you up with the right folks. We also do awareness campaigns. This reading challenge is one of our awareness campaigns. We engage hundreds of schools, a lot of community sites, and they all have to do with grade level reading. And the 3 pillars of grade level reading, which are to address the achievement gap, the summer learning, attendance, and reading. And so, in addition, we do staff and professional development and capacity building. We have 3 different modules that we provide staff training for, including parent engagement strategies, welcoming environment, and outreach, recruitment, and retention. And we also do a lot of advocacy work. We publish policy recommendations, and we support the leadership development of parents in their schools. So, to our webinar.
So here is a overview of how to use features of GoToWebinar, including how to adjust volume and ask questions. So as you can see here, the Grab tab, it allows you to click, if you click the arrow, to open and close the control panel, as well as to open the viewer window to full mode or window mode. You also have the opportunity to select the audio mode. All as of right now, all the attendees are muted. So please make sure that your volume is on high volume so you can ensure high quality sound, as well as at the end of this webinar, you'll have an opportunity to submit questions, and also you can submit the questions throughout the presentation. And to submit a question, the presenter can type in the question in the question pane on your control panel. So we're going to give you a few seconds just to kind of get familiar with the basics of the GoToWebinar. But if you have any questions throughout, please go ahead and submit them.
All right, so for today's agenda.
So we want to kind of start with the goals of our workshops and presentations. So during this webinar, we'll cover the Families in Schools Reading Challenge Overview, an implementation timeline, calculating the winners, and of course, answering any questions you may have. But first, I would like to convey why we at Families in Schools have conducted this campaign for 15 years. Since you all work with growing learners every day, you know that independent reading is critical to a student's future. But unfortunately, 1 in 6 children who are not reading proficiently in 3rd grade do not graduate from high school on time. 30% of 3rd graders in California are not reading in grade level. And only 55% of young children in Los Angeles County, ages 0 to 5, are read to every day. And you can find more statistics on page 4 in the Families in Schools Reading Challenge Handbook, which will be available on the website a week from today.
So, due to the statistics that Carla just read, Families in Schools came up with the idea of challenging students to read basically hundreds of thousands of words. And so, we wanted to support schools with tools and resources to engage students in literacy activities. And we also wanted to engage families so that they had the tools and the resources at their home. And then we wanted to challenge and incentivize students from preschool through 12th grade to read hundreds of thousands of words in the classroom. Now, I know some of you are dealing with younger kids that are not in preschool, and it's actually open to students in the early years as well. And also, the Families in Schools Reading Challenge is an 11-week campaign, and it's really to incentivize students to read more And so we engage schools and families, and we provide the tools and resources to really support them throughout the 11 weeks. Mm-hmm. All right. So now we would like to go over the reading challenge overview. But before we do that, I would really like to just say that we are always really excited to hear about the wonderful ideas coming from the different schools that are registered. Um, we have um, we have schools that are already thinking about how they're going to be implementing the campaign into their curriculum. We have schools that are thinking about how what kind of literacy activities are they're going to be conducting in throughout the rest of the year. And so we're really excited about all of the different things that are happening. We already have about 15 or 15, maybe 20 presentations that we will be going to. And so we're really excited about that.
So really through this campaign that begins on February 13th and ends on May 4th, it is really exciting because there's so many opportunities where students, school staff, parents can get involved. And in February, of course, we're gonna, kick off the registration along with webinars. And really the school develops kickoff activities, right, that gets everyone excited to be part of this reading challenge. And of course, the important part is to register the families to be part of this program, and also win prizes throughout the program itself, throughout the challenge itself. I'm sorry. And as you can see, through March and April, schools are hosting student and family activities, and also families and schools can certainly promote literacy activities as well. Um, During this time, schools gather reading logs and are really promoting the weekly challenges. Um, and of course, we're so excited to really share that Families with Schools will be at the LA Times Festival of Books. And so, this is really a great opportunity for us to really engage with the community, and of course, sign up more families to be part of this challenge. And of course, ending it in June, as the deadline ends, as the program ends in May 4th, schools calculate the top readers and submit one winner to Families and Schools. And I think this is the great part is we have like an actual combination where we distribute prizes to eligible winners. So we through this great campaign, we really challenge students from preschool to 12th grade to read hundreds of thousands of words outside the classroom. And we're really excited to bring this to the schools.
Thank you, Carla. And so I would like to take this opportunity to thank our wonderful sponsors. First, the California Endowment, Great Public Schools Now, One West Bank, the LA Cal Soap, and the Los Angeles Public Library.
And also, in addition, we have some amazing partners supporting our efforts by providing their content expertise. They include LAUSD, the LA Trust, the Children's Partnership, and their On Health campaign, as well as a campaign for grade level reading. And really thank you, the community partners, for assisting us to be part of this challenge.
So, thank you, Carla. So we have quite a few updates and quite a few things that are going on besides the reading challenge. One of the things about that's different about this reading challenge is that we actually incorporate a health and wellness piece. So for those from last year, you'll notice that we have a family reading guide and we also have a handbook. And so we provide activities that can be done at home. And we have activities that can be done at home. And let me see. We also have different ways of incorporating the challenge. So basically what we want to do is every day we want to build that habit of reading every day. And the same thing with health and wellness, just being aware of our health and wellness, different pieces. So for example, if a child wants to drink a lot of water or should, for example, if a child's goal is to drink 8 ounces of water every day or 8 glasses of water every day, then they'll write that down as something that they want to do. So I'll get more into the details, but for now, just be aware that there's a health and wellness component, and we've been very fortunate to have the LA Trust and the Children's Partnership provide some of these handouts. So the other piece that I'd like to go over is the reading logs. So this is a big component for schools. There are some questions about last year we had some questions asking if the challenge is based on pages read, books read, or words read. So I want to clarify this. When you get the handbook, which will be available it should be available by Monday, the 29th. And so when you get this, if you refer to page 9, 10, 11, and 12, again, that's 9, 10, 11, and 12. What you'll notice is that if you turn to page 10 on your teacher monthly log, it says number of books read. If you turn to page 11 on the student reading log, it says number of pages read. So there's a big difference, right? Number of books read, pages read. This is because we want the students to use their log to track their reading, and sometimes students will not complete an entire book right away. So they would rather have it so that it is a tool that they can use for their own benefit and reference. So that's kind of the way that we created the log, so that they use it they can log in their own pages. But at the bottom left area, which is right here where my mouse is, it actually says total number of books read, so that this supports the teacher when they're gathering the information. If you do programs like Accelerated Reader, or you prefer some kind of word count, please feel free to modify the worksheet for your own benefit. This is we're okay with words as well. So every month that we collect the number of books you read, we are basing it on the grade level that the teacher is teaching. So if it's a third grade teacher and they have 160 books total in the month of March, then they have 20 students, then we divide that 160 by 20 and we calculate the students in the classroom, and we get 8 books on a month. That each student read approximately 8 books on a monthly basis, which means that each student averages about 266,666 words. So this is all based on this right here, the annual grade level reading goals. It's a interesting formula that we have, but I just kind of wanted to give you a reference, so that you're aware of like how this works. But it is based on basically the number of books read, but we calculate the number of words in the end. So we're actually calculating the number of words based on the books that are read. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. So another thing that I'd like to kind of just refer you to is so our website is familiesandschools.org/reading challenge dash schools. So if you can, again, that's www.familiesandschools.org/reading dash challenge slash schools. So that is where you're going to get all of your information at. You'll have a bunch of downloadables. Right now we have the family reading guide there, but you'll have a lot of the handouts, the parent letter, the certificates, everything will be there. The other thing is there will be 2 Google Forms for schools to submit reading logs and the top school winner. The reminders will be sent to the school liaison via email, and we're going to send them a link. We will send them a link so that they can turn in both of those. And we'll be sending weekly reminders as well, just like, or bi-weekly emails, just kind of giving you information on the challenge as well as resources and tools for it. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about the implementation process. So this is the handbook. It's available on January 29th. I actually think we might be able to get it sooner. We may be able to do it by this Friday, but if not, we should have it up by January 29th. So the campaign begins on February 13th, and it ends on May 4th. That handbook that I was referring to earlier, this is this kind of gives you a lot of information, a lot of ideas on how you can possibly launch your campaign. The other thing is that the other step that you want to take when implementing your campaign is to designate a school lead. If you haven't already, most of you are the school leads. This person should be the person that will receive the biweekly emails, the timeline, the implementation, and they'll be the person that just is continuously communicating all of everything between families and schools and the teachers and the schools, as well as any of the other pieces. All of the materials will be available through the website. We cannot address the fact that or enough that the handbook will provide you with just about everything you need to implement the campaign. If you need anything, please feel free to contact me. My name is Cynthia Perez, and my email will be at the end of the presentation, but it's cperez@familiesandschools.org, and I would be happy to help you with anything. So the liaison will give each classroom basically a monthly tracking sheet to the teacher, and every month they are to send families in school the information. So every month they are to send us the information, and we'll give you a link. But if you can't do it on the link for some reason, or there's not enough space, You can also email it to us. We're happy to take it via email. Fax is not very good with us. Our fax machine continuously gives us trouble, so email is best. So my email here is cperez@familiesandschools.org, or you can also use info@familiesandschools.org. So, so the way that the tracking sheet works is that every month they are to send the information to us, and this is called the school-wide tracking on the handbook, which and there will be 3 dates where the school will be asked to submit their information. Again, that's the school-wide tracking sheet. Finally, one student winner at each school will receive a prize, and that student winner will be chosen by the liaison and will be invited to families and by families and schools to join the annual reading challenge celebration on June 17th. And it's a really cool celebration. The kids get medals, they get to meet some kind of usually it's some kind of mascot. Clifford has been there. We've had the Dodger guy be there. So we've had some pretty cool people come up. And they also get the prize there. So this slide, you may want to freeze frame it. This is kind of a sample timeline for you. So between December and February, you register your school. You usually let your school staff know if you haven't done so already. You distribute materials to your students. You get ready to host a kickoff event or some kind of information event. And of course, you kick off your school's campaign on hopefully in February. And then you register parents as well. It's really up to you if you want to register the parents. We really recommend it, and I'll go over why we recommend it in a little bit. So this is another great timeline for your March and June. So usually you may want to do like host some kind of activity, some kind of a local library host, card sign-in day, or host a book club or a poetry day, or some kind of pajama party with some kind of reading piece. We have a ton of suggested activities in the handbook. So again, we emphasize the handbook. You can also engage your students' parents by promoting the Festival of Books, National Reading Day, which is on March 2nd, or some of you, or Read Across America, or Dr. Seuss Day for some of you. And then the culmination event on June 17th, which is a great date to meet other students who have been part of the challenge, but also we also do the Passport to Success registration for families. So that's a great event to get your students on summer learning, getting started on a summer learning activity. In addition to the handbook, we have videos in our Families and Schools website, and I'll actually be loading them pretty soon, probably in the next couple days. Oh yes. So also, many of you have invited us to attend your schools and to present to the parents and to really to go in there or do some outreach. And we're really excited. We're always excited to meet the families, meet you, the coordinators, the amazing and wonderful coordinators that are here on, a Wednesday afternoon, about to, hopefully getting out of school soon, and taking this time out of your day to do this. And so we're really excited also to share any of the stories that you have to our partners. We're here to help you, and we hope we can help you with your with the reading challenge. Let's see. So some of the things that I keep talking about, the handbook, and really the handbook is the piece that is critical for all of you, because it includes the tools to help you motivate and inform school staff, the students, and the parents. And for school staff, for example, we have a letter for the teacher, implementation guidelines, book reports, activity sheets, etc. For school staff, for students, we have a list of recommended books. We have a really great list of books that was actually created by the LA Trust as well as the Los Angeles Public Library. We have a reading log, we have student participation guidelines, and a bunch of other stuff. So the reading log is actually in the handbook. And to engage parents, we have the parent letter template. We have read aloud tips for the younger ones, literacy tips for the older ones, and also facts about why reading is important. And of course, this list is not exhaustive. It is over 90 pages of resources, and we hope that it's a good tool for you. So in the end, the information that you'll be submitting is, or what you will be submitting is, every month we will be asking you to submit your reading logs. March 9th, April 6th, May 4th. Now, I'd like to clarify the May 4th one. It's actually May 11th. The May 4th is actually the last day for the students to read for this reading challenge. So May 11th is actually the date that you should submit the reading logs. And so we have a link. It's not live yet, but we will have, everything will be there. And that is all based also on the tracking sheet that we have in the handbook, and that should be page, let me look at it really quickly, page 12 in the handbook once you are ready to download it. Right now it's going through compression, so it'll take a little bit of time. So submitting your top winner. At the end of the campaign, we want to reward your student and acknowledge you and the school for your efforts. And so, the purpose, basically, we want students to be recognized. And so schools should submit the top winner by 5 p.m. on May 11th. However, I put May 13th because that's a Friday. May 11th is the Friday. And May 13th really is the real deadline, just because I'm not here over the weekend. So I will be okay with May 13th, with you submitting things on May 13th. When you submit this, please make sure to fill out all the contact information correctly. That means for both yourself, the school lead, as well as the family. Um, we've had several cases when we have received the wrong phone numbers or the wrong addresses, so it delays the prize giving. And so, and we can actually mail the prize directly to the family, or so that it doesn't get lost in that whole summer time. So the family reading guide is now available on the website. Schools can print them and distribute them to their parent center. We'll also be sending schools some sample materials. We'll send them about probably only a small sample size, so it means probably about 30. Um, Unfortunately, we don't have the capacity for thousands of, or you know, hundreds of thousands of reading guides, but we will send out some sample ones so that you can put them at your parent centers. The reading guides have Common Core aligned activities for students and their families. So, and it also includes steps on how the families can register and participate in the campaign. And it's a good tool that can help students and their families stay engaged for the 11 weeks that this takes place in. So that's really important to keep the kids and keep families engaged throughout this campaign. And so school staff will get technical assistance in the form of weekly emails containing best practices, local literacy events, recommended resources. I know last year we let school liaisons know about potential grants for their to build their libraries. We gave some free books away, and we had a lot of good resources. And of course, families and schools will be standing by to make sure that you're successful. So please feel free to call us via the 800 number, or you can email us at info@familiesandschools.org, or you just can email me or call me directly. Most of you have my my direct email, and if you don't, you will have it as soon as you register for the campaign. And family registration. Um, we know that in order for schools to keep their families engaged for 11 weeks, you may need a little bit of help. So we provide families on a weekly basis when they register to families and schools. We send them family literacy tips, as well as health and wellness tips, a list of events, and we do this through email and through text message. All their information stays with families and schools. They are not given to a third party. But it's so cool because we encourage them to do challenges, and just for participating, we send them a certificate and usually a little prize. Usually it's a book or an activity book or pencil, something to encourage the students to do activities along with their reading. And so we are no longer doing the photo challenges for those that have done the photo challenges, but they're more like activity challenges where we encourage the students to read a poem, write a poem, and send us a poem, and then internally we send them a certificate, and we send them their prize and we vote for one of them, and they get usually it's a $10 gift card, $20 gift card. Sometimes it's something completely different. But yeah, we really encourage you to register the parents. So let's get to the prizes. So every year, there are many opportunities for students, schools, and families to win prizes. As you can see, this year the top student at your school will get a set of books from our sponsors, $25 gift card, a family pack of tickets to a museum or an event, a reading challenge top winner certificate, which is actually you already have access to a certificate, but we'll have another certificate as well, because this one is the one that is given at the ceremony. We also give them an invitation to the ceremony and a medal at the ceremony, as well as recognition when they are at the ceremony. They get to receive their prize, they get their medal. It's pretty cool. Last year's reading challenge winner, Mia Safdie, third grade, she read over 1,000,000 words, two levels above her grade level. And she actually won an Apple iPad, because we usually choose one top winner. And that's usually because the students have really pushed themselves high and above. The other thing is, this year we have a prize for the most engaged school. And that includes a $150 gift card. As you can see, there's quite a nice list there, but as you're reading and going over that, that is all based on engagement. And so some of the ways that you can you are engaged is by A, coming to this webinar, B, launching an event, launching some kind of kickoff, or doing some kind of presentation, participating in some of the weekly literacy challenges. If your staff decides to do it on their own, or if the students, a classroom, they decide to do a literacy challenge together, then we're so happy to see students work. Turning in your classroom reading logs on time. If you register 25 parents, we will give you basically, like, that's a big plus. Also, if the parents in your schools are engaging in the weekly challenges, that's always good. And if you conduct literacy events and workshops. So that's for the school prize. And then I guess it's question time. So in this webinar, we've covered the implementation guidelines, the resources that we can provide you with, a timeline or a sample timeline, how you can a little bit of how you can select your winner. And I hope that this has been informative. Please, if you have any questions, please feel free to jot them down in your chat box, in the questions box. All right. So let's see. I have okay. How much does it cost to participate? We don't charge. This is a free campaign. We are sponsored by some amazing sponsors. So yeah, we don't. This is free. This is free for the schools and it's free for the parents. We just want to get people reading. Yay! um, So, like I said, the handbook is available on Monday, the 29th. Feel free to email me. I'm going to put up my email. Let me see. My email. It's cperez@familiesandschools.org. I will not be in on Monday, just FYI, but I'll be here on Tuesday, the 30th. Please feel free to email me. Like I said, the handbook will be available on the 29th, if not sooner, on the 26th. So, and we will be sending out your materials pretty soon. We will be sending out a hard copy of the handbook as well, so that for those that are having trouble accessing it via the website, we'll be sending it out in the next couple weeks. We also, what else do we have? We also have some great opportunities coming up very, very soon regarding books and all kinds of other goodies. If you haven't registered for the reading challenge, please do so. The address, this, oops, the email address is, the website address to register. If you go to www.familiesandschools.org reading challenge-schools, there is a register your school button. Please do so. For agencies that have multiple sites, I recommend that you register each site separately. That's because the schools, that's because the each site you'll be able to win one prize for each one of your winners. And like I said, your winners will have, all this goodie, all of this good stuff. Any other questions? All right. So I look forward to having a wonderful campaign with you all. And I'm looking forward to hopefully meeting some of you in person. If not, we will definitely be in contact. I will look out for my emails, and I will be letting you know ASAP when we have everything online, which should be, like I said, in the next couple days. All right. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you all so much for joining this webinar.